Hello. If there is one thing that I know brings people together in these trying times, it's free food. Also nature. Foraging is the best of both worlds. Therefore, join me on this journey to learn a little something about foraging in the wild Midwest. Today I'm going to talk with my father, Elliot Meadow, aka E-Meds. He can often be found eating ice cream. Also, he's backing off his addiction. He had an intervention and he's done. He's setting down the ice cream for good. But you can also find him gallivanting around various woodland areas like a little fairy, kind of older man fairy. A woodland geezer, if you will. Today he's going to teach me some things about foraging in Wisconsin.
But it's violet always. The light never stops.
Today we are in beautiful Wisconsin. So what are we looking for today, Dad?
We will probably find some watercress for sure, and maybe some fiddleheads. It's getting late in season for fiddleheads, but we may find some nonetheless.
We're determined.
That's right.
Figuring life out in a global pandemic is not that dissimilar from a deer trail. You kind of have to find your own way through the wilderness of confusion and poison ivy and discontent.
The light never stops. Look at them, God rays.
Well, well, well. It's a bit of a watercress party, if you will.
Yes.
A watercress soiree.
It's a little spring seep that comes from the side of the hill, and it's just enough spring water to invite these watercress to hang out here. Some people simply might pull them out. Since they're in such profusion, they might pull them out, but we'll cut them. Here.
Look at that beautiful bundle of gorgeous watercress. Watercress. Wash well before consuming because of Giardia and other possible bad things.
Wise words. Yes.
We're full of wise words here in Wisconsin.
So we probably don't want to take too much, right? Because we don't really need that much.
Yeah. So there are a couple different uses for the beloved watercress, such as making pesto or putting it in a salad. And there are many uses for wildflowers. But my favorite one is just a little stick behind the ear type of situation. It's important to accessorize, even in nature.
Stops it. And the look on your face when you're finding the frail. Capture the feeling.
We did have some fantastic success with watercress, and now we are on the look for fiddleheads. Edible ferns are delicious. Oh, beautiful, beautiful fiddleheads. I love them.
I think.
Now, you typically don't cook the stem part too much.
No, they say
this is really
I mean, ideally, they're 6 to 8 inches. Now, this one's really good here. And you have to shake off the brown hull part, the dried part.
This is true. You don't want to saute the dead leaves.
Oh, here's some nice ones.
It's a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. The small tender ones are the best. What's your favorite way to eat fiddleheads?
I just simply steam them or saute them in butter and garlic, and then maybe something else along with it.
My favorite way is to take a fiddlehead and saute it with a little sesame oil, garlic, tamari or soy sauce. Some mushrooms would have been good with them too. Where is the ideal environment to find fiddleheads?
So this one area here is where they seem to come up, and I went to this area, and this is the only place I see. So it's rather peculiar. You know, they sort of defy Fiddlehead logic.
These absolute rebels defy fern logic by absolutely flourishing in sunlight. That is my goal for the summer too. These are my biggest inspiration. To use safety while foraging for various things. Do you think that my generation doesn't know a lot about wild plants?
Well, I think it depends upon whether you are interested in being in the natural world or not. And I think a big part of it is social media and thumb tribal stuff is so pervasive that people find themselves taking less time to investigate the whole nature thing.
But wait a second, Elliot Meadow, aren't you a maestro of Facebook?
I used to be, but I've backed off on it substantially. It's easy to get sucked in and spend hours and hours on it.
Except on my videos.
Exactly.
You can never spend enough time on my
That's correct,
videos.
yeah, and yours must be watched over and over again like a good film. They bear several watchings.
So I have a question. How would a novice forager begin to start looking for things to forage around?
Well, besides
them.
a lot of things, back to social media again, there are a lot of things on YouTube. There are also some very good books by a guy from this general area named Sam Thayer. He's sort of like written the definitive books on foraging.
A few other foraging tips from us include: check for ticks after walking through the woods. Make sure you know exactly what you have foraged before consuming it. Unless you're like an evil human being, then by all means feast on mysterious, possibly poisonous things. Also wash things well. And don't take too much. Leave some for others. And obviously, have a lot of fun.